Hi folks, Mike Honan here. My website is mikehonan.com, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the first rules, the first rule of online marketing, or any type of marketing, really, online, offline. And I think the first rule is don't insert what you think into the equation, because what you think may or may not be even close to the truth. Case in point, a few years ago, I was at and I've told this story a number of times before, but I can tell it again. A few years ago, I was in Oklahoma with my brothers. We're camping and doing this whole big event. And I was at the event. I'm walking down the, where all the stalls are, where they're selling everything. And this kid walks by, and he's puffing on this steel tube. And I had to stop him. I said, "Hey, man, what is that?" He goes, "Oh, man, it's a vaporizer. It's, the electronic cigarettes." And I just went, "Are you talking about those stupid little things you see on TV with a little blue light or the red light on the end of it?" He goes, "Well, this is a little bit different, but yeah, that's the idea." I go, "You're kidding me." I said, "That looks completely different." He goes, "Yeah, it's a new big thing." And I was like, "Wow, that's really interesting," but I didn't really think, I thought the whole vaporizer thing was really stupid. I wasn't a smoker. I didn't, it just, to me, it was like, well, how does that compete? How does that compare to it's water vapor? Anyway, I get back to Oregon. One thing leads to another. And within like 3 months, 2 or 3 months, this was September, we had a vape store open through a series of events. My son's friend quit smoking using one. He was totally excited. We ended up opening a store. Now we have 4 stores that are doing quite well. And there you go. Had I let my prejudice to that idea stop me from doing what I ended up doing at the time, I really wanted to open a store. But the whole point is just that what you think may be a good product and what actually is a good product or a good sales idea, you need to research it first. You got to find out what people want. And if people want blue eggs and you're selling rubber balls, it may look like an egg, but it ain't a blue egg. And don't get caught into the trap going, "This is the way I want to do it." Because really the market may not want to do it that way. You have to let the market dictate what it wants, in a sense, and even how you're going to sell it. If you put a ton of work into building or trying to build a business and it's just not what the market wants, it's not going to work. And that's why you really have to do your research. And look at really big entrepreneurs, guys that have been doing this for a long time, and I have this mentors and different people have told me, and I found this out for myself. Different services I offered weren't necessarily the ones I started with. In my previous business years ago, I had a small service business when I was younger, and actually I had it for years. But when I was younger, I'd start, and people, I'd be talking to my clients, and they would say, my customers would say, "Hey, I need someone to come and pinstripe this car, paint a pinstripe." And I had an automotive service business, and I did graphics and all that kind of thing. So I figured out a way to paint pinstripes on. I made maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars doing paint pinstripes. Was that originally what I was planning on doing? No, but I let the market dictate what it wanted. I didn't say, "Well, I'm not interested in that. I'm not going to do paint on pinstripes. I don't know how to do that." I figured out a way to do it. So the whole point is, if you're approaching the market with something that is untried and untested, you may get lucky, okay? You may get lucky and hit it right. But more often than not, you're betting against the house, and the odds are it's not going to work out. You're much better off approaching the market and looking at it and going, "Okay, what's working?" If you really love something, you want to give it a shot, hey, it's your deal. Anybody can do whatever they want. Still somewhat a free country, so you can still do some things the way you want. But the best way to approach it is to do some research, find out what's selling, how it's selling, and don't just dump a bunch of money into an idea or a bunch of time and effort into something that may or may not work. It's better off going in. If you really love something, well, have it as a hobby. But to dump time and effort into a business where you're trying to make money, man, don't make that mistake. I was watching a video by this guy, Tai Lopez. The guy made a great point. He just said, "Nobody cares what you think." And it's really true. Nobody cares what you think. They're looking for something. What are they looking for? The whole thing is to find out what people are looking for, what do people want, and what's the best way to sell it. How do you engage that person in such a way where you can convince them, persuade them to buy your product or your service? So that's what we're looking for in a business. Don't jump in. People don't care what you think. People don't care what you have. They want what they need. If they need a faucet or another new pair of shoes, well, they're going to look for that. What is the market dictating? What's selling in the market? You'll find certain trends at certain times there are certain trends in the market where people are spending money on certain things. If the markets are, people are nervous about work and jobs and that kind of thing, and you're out looking for a job, you got to know what's out there. You got to know what's happening in the market in a general sense and also in a specific sense. So the whole point is that it's a really true thing that the guy said, that Tai Lopez said. He said, nobody cares what you think. So don't approach the market thinking that people are concerned about what you think. You want to engage them. You want to persuade them. You want to find out what they're thinking and what they want and sell them what they want. I mean, it's just a very basic, but it's dynamic. I meet so many, I've been in business with so many people. I shouldn't say it that way. I haven't been in business with them, but being in business for myself over the years, I would run into people and they would be making huge mistakes. And I would capitalize on those mistakes and sometimes inadvertently. I remember this one time I was working in this town here in Oregon and I was doing a couple of the car lots. I would go and sell them products, and my competitor did a lot of work at this one particular car dealership, and he went to another place and bought a truck from another dealership, and he really made some enemies by doing that, because here he drives on the car lot where he sells a lot of the product and he didn't even buy, you know what I mean? He didn't know what the market wanted. I mean, he was making a lot of money there, and he goes and buys his truck somewhere else. I don't know if that made sense to what I'm trying to prove here, but the whole point is that you want to communicate with your customers. You want to know what they're thinking, how they're thinking, and you want to sell on that basis. You don't want to hit the market like, hey, this is what you need and you need to buy this. It ain't going to work. It just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work. So a roundabout way of saying, the first rule of online marketing and any marketing is finding what the market wants and approaching it from that direction. Don't bring your stuff to market and try to push it on people. You're going against the house. You're betting against the house in a sense. There are times when that has worked, but it's better to find out where the market's going, what the market's doing, what people are buying, what they're interested in, and approaching it from that angle. You're going to be much better off, and you're going to win a lot more than you lose doing it that way. Anyway, folks, it's always great talking to you. My name is Mike Honan. My website's MikeHonan.com. If you like what you're hearing, go to my website, leave your name and your email address, and I will alert you to new stuff, new videos that are coming out, and free giveaways, that kind of thing. So please go to my website, subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Adios, amigos.